Alright, so the WoodGrinder team is just another bleed team. It's basically the exact same bleed team as Bleeding Bear, except I switched out Stone Grinder for the Parry, or my Rui-chan, because he's a little bit better, since he hits a little bit harder, and he has moves that actually kind of hit hard, instead of just having actually one move that actually does damage. So anyways, it's a Stone Grinder, a Infested Bear Cup, and a Snarly. Snarly's pretty great. With this one, he's pretty nice, since a lot of his cleanup ability just destroys objects. So if you run into a Pandaren Dragonling and they use Decoy, or any other decoy pet, you can just take it out. Same thing with the turrets. Pretty nice for taking out objects that are built. Plus, he puts up a bleed and he can use Thunderbolt, which is also a pretty nice AoE ability. Then you switch out into Little Bear, and then he can just use Maul to do a whole bunch of damage. I was trying out Bash this time around, because usually when I run the Infested Bear Club, I like to use Hibernate over Bash, because he's kind of slow, and Bash is kind of useless unless you can outspeed your opponent, but I was just trying it out anyway, and it wasn't garbage, but I kind of prefer Hibernate, even if it isn't really all the greatest thing in the world. Plus, he just hits kind of hard. He's really tanky. He has a lot of health for... Well, actually, yeah, he is kind of an H-breed. He hits hard, he has lots of health, and he's just really tanky. He also lives for a long time if you take Hibernate instead of what I did. But, yeah, he does really well. And then my Snarly, Snorlax. He hits pretty hard. He's really good against the meta, since he takes no damage from undeads. Since his aquatic ability, he takes 50% reduced damage from dots, plus he takes 33% less damage from undeads, and most undeads you run into in PvP do dots. So you're taking 80% less damage from dots. So if they have an undead on their team, you just switch into Snarly and he'll be able to take them out, no problem. Plus, he has the Surge, which is really great for going first and actually doing decent amounts of damage with his high attack. And of course his Rip and the Blood in the Water combo, which just destroys. It hits so hard. Snarly hits really hard, and he's really speedy with his Surge. So it's a nice little team, lots of bleeding synergy. Even though the Little Bear can't actually use Maul. Well, he can't do the double damage with Maul unless there's a bleed up, and he can't put a bleed himself. So you usually want to start off with either Stone Grinder or Snorlax. Rarely will you ever start off with the Infested Bear Cub with this team. Alright, so this first team is against it's not the best team in the world, but it is able to give me a run for my money. He starts off with a Cinder Kitten, and I start off with my Stone Grinder. I just kind of want to set up my Thunderbolt first, do a little bit of damage to his entire team, and then set up my Bleed. He's able to do a lot of damage to me before I'm able to switch out. He only gets 2 moves off on me, and I'm already at half health. Below half health, actually. I go into Little Bear, that way I can maul and take advantage of his Bleed debuff. And it's not enough to kill him, sadly. He still has 6 health left, which means he's able to get off 1 more attack before dying. I don't really have to do anything because the Bleach is going to kill him. So he gets off 1 more Scorched Earth. Whatever. I go into Little Bear. I try to bash him just because. And then I get a switch off of that because I know he's either going to switch out or just eat it. And then I go into my Snorlax because he would have been to take out the Dark Phoenix a lot easier, but whatever. I'm going to be able to take out his Argie because he doesn't really have any good abilities. I'm not sure why he's using them. Maybe just because it's a pet store thing. And then I use my Blood in the Water combo. He's able to switch out on it, but lucky for me, it hits with the 50% hit chance. And then he goes into his Dark Rebirth. I'm not really sure how Dark Rebirth works because I haven't actually run against it before, but I decided to kill him anyway. I think I should have just waited out a turn and not attacked him, but whatever. He comes back to life. He's able to get off a lot more hits, so the smarter bet would be just to really just switch out or just not do anything and then just take him out in the next turn. So he's able to come back to life. He gets 3 more extra attacks on me, and then he finally is able to die after taking out my Snorlax. But then I have my 2 pets, my Little Bear and my Stone Grinder, and they both have a better racial than his Argie, so I have absolutely nothing to worry about. This is where racials really come in, is in times like these, because I have 2 pets almost dead, but they both have better racials, so there's no way I was going to lose that. This next one, going against a lot better of a team, an Unborn Valk, a Dark Moon Rabbit, and a Pandaren Dragonling. Now, I really want a Dark Moon Rabbit myself, because that would be so good in a bleed team, but whatever. I start with my Snorlax. I know he's going to go straight into his Unborn Valk, and he's able to take Haunt like no tomorrow. It's going to do like no damage to me at all. He goes into his Dark Moon Rabbit, and I just spam Surge because I know he's going to use his Dodge really quick. And if you're able to hit him during the turn they use Dodge, it just completely like takes away his Thunder. Because the whole reason you use Dodge on a fast pet is to avoid 2 attacks. But if you're able to hit him first because of the first turn move, then it kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm able to set up my Blood in the Water combo and take out his Dark Moon Rabbit because I have better tactics than him. And then I use my Snorlax because I'm faster. He's already bleeding, so I go for the Surge because it does a little bit more damage up front, and there's no real reason to have to refresh my Rend on him. So I go into my Bear. I'm going to use my Maul, which is going to do a ton of damage to him since he's bleeding. And then I'm going to use my Bash because I kind of wanted to bash him before he goes into his undead state. That way I can get one more turn to actually hit him, or to force him to switch out, but he's able to, he gets the Haunt off and he outspeeds me. And in this one right here, I really want to switch into my Stone Grinder to take out his decoy, but I have to stay in a Little Bear because he has his 2 dots on him that are probably going to kill him in the back row. So I just stick with him, that way he'll die here and I'll get my turn of immunity, and I just take out his decoy the old-fashioned way, get a couple of hits on him without having to risk my Stone Grinder getting hit in the back row. I'm able to kill his Unborn Valk with my Little Bear. Great job, Little Bear. And then I use my Thunderbolt to try to do a little bit of damage to his Pandaren Dragonling who's in the back row. He's about to be switched out. He uses his Thunderbolt, which is able to kill me because there's only one pet out and it does a lot more damage to one pet. I use my Stone Grinder, I'm able to kill him, and we both... He's going to be able to kill me right here, but I get super lucky, survive with 6 health, and then I don't actually kill him. So he kills me, and the dot is going to kill him, and it ends in a draw. Okay, this next one, another really good team. Scourge Whelpling, Unborn Valk, and a Clockwork. No, I start off with Snorlax, obviously, because he's going to go straight into his Unborn Valk, like most Unborn Valk teams do. He's just going to set up his dots right away, or switch out. Nope, he goes straight into his dot, and I'm able to set up my dot on him, which is going to be great setup for later. And then he switches into his Clockwork Gnome, in which case I switch into my Stone Grinder, because I'm going to be able to take out his turrets with my cleanup. The thing is, I want to wait until he has both of his turrets up before taking them out. So I'm going to wait out 2 turns, use a Thunderbolt, and then a Stone Grinder, the Wood Chipper. That way I get my bleed up on him. And then I know he's going to use his turret to this turn, and since he's faster than me, he'll be able to put it up. And then I'll use my cleanup to take out both of them, while doing a little bit of damage to him, which is totally worth it. Made me feel really good inside. And then he switches... I switch into my Little Bear. I'm going to get off a Maul. He's going to do a lot of damage to his Unborn Valk that he switched off into. And then I'm going to try my Bash little thing again, where I'm going to bash him, that way he's not able to use his Haunt. And I'm just going to use Disease Bite on him. He switches out, obviously. I'm just going to keep spamming Disease Bite on him. Try not to switch out, but he puts up his Blood Plague, so I kind of have to switch out. Otherwise, he'll just heal up every time he attacks me. I don't really have enough damage to take him out that quickly. He goes into his Clockwork Gnome. I'm going to try to take him out really quick with a Surge, but he's able to live with a little bit of damage. A little bit of health, and he's able to put up his turret. So I'm just going to set up my bleed, because I assume he's going to switch out. He goes into his Scourge Whelpling, which is great for me. And then I use my Blood in the Water combo. He's going to die to the Rend on the next turn. He's able to set a Blood Plague though, which means his Clockwork Gnome is going to heal up in the background, thanks to his turret, which is whatever. I just keep using Rip because I'm going to just take whatever he does to me anyway, since he's in his turn of immunity. He sets up his stupid Darkness, which causes me to get a couple of really unlucky misses. And this is when he sends in his Clockwork Gnome to set up his second turret. I try to get off another quick kill, but unlucky for me, I miss. And so he gets up his second turret. He's able to heal a tiny bit more on that, and I go into my Stone Grinder. I'm going to take it out right away. I'm not going to wait for a second one, since we're kind of really in the late game right now, and I need to just kill him really quick because they're both so low, and both my pets are super low as well. He's able to hit me first, and he's able to take me out because we both have the same speed, so it's kind of 50-50 who goes first now. Which means I really need to get lucky with this Stone Grinder and go first. Otherwise, I'm dead. And I get lucky. I'm able to get off the Stone Grinder, and he misses. Not only do I get lucky by going first, he misses, but he's able to go first the next time and set up his torrent before I actually die. And then my Stone Grinder is faster. I'm going to take out his torrent right away with my cleanup ability, because I know I'm about to die right now, because Unborn Valk actually hits pretty hard single target. And then my Little Bear, he's going to be able to take out the Unborn Valk, no problem. During his turn of immunity, I'm just going to stun him because I have a chance of going first. I go first, stun him, he can't do anything, and I'm able to win it.